99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah. Any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect? Please? I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display. Plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more. All at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte. P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by-appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. And yes, I'm back, but they lost my voice in the luggage. I don't have much of a voice right now. I got sick, which has brought back the reemergence of the coughing towel. I picked up some bug on the very last day of my journey.
Oh, no. At least it wasn't the beginning.
Thought it was just allergies, and the next thing you know, yesterday I was just sick as a dog, and now today I'm feeling better. But so much for a voice. Well, whatever. It's just American radio. Anyways, Ralph is with us. Keon is here, and I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. And yes, Raven Kid, I am alive.
although it doesn't sound like I'm that alive. But yes, this is an easy day, so I can handle it. Thursday is always an easy day because we do our picks, which, by the way, did you guys talk about the picks last week? Did you talk about the results? I was perfect.
We did talk about the results.
Did you mention that I was perfect? I got all games right, along with 11 other people, but not enough to put me into first place. Mo's 75 got first place in the tiebreaker. Of course, to make sure I never win the tiebreaker, I always put 69 in as the tiebreaker amount.
Nice.
If that ever happens, I want the damn money. But yeah, last week I got all the picks right, which puts me in the lead of all hosts on 1580 The Fanatic.
By one.
Still the lead.
It's
by one.
It's a hell of
You're
a
still below me.
It's still a hell of a comeback. Because
You
like
know
that,
what, Ralph?
don't
You are.
You like that.
You
want to be on top.
below me.
Yeah, you want to be on top.
I
Ralph
don't
is just
understand what kind of trash talk
below
this is.
me.
I'm just glad that you got sick on the trip, so you're not blaming it on me.
This is well, you know
you
how I
would.
know. Here's how I know I didn't get sick from Ralph. I don't have COVID.
You probably do.
Because if I have COVID, it's from you. You're the only person who's ever
I'm the
given me
only
COVID.
person that carries COVID.
I'm pretty sure it's science. I'm sure the science would back me up on that.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Hefty Lefty says, "Welcome back, Jeffrey. Did you have any black pudding on your trip?" No, I think I had some sort of pudding. My mom ordered some, and then she always like, "Here, try this." But no, I don't think I had any black pudding. Moist One says, I was getting everything ready. And of course, yeah, for the Jeffrey O'Brien Memorial Mini Golf Tournament. No, you thought I was dead? Did they tell you I was dead?
Nobody told
It might have
anybody
been
you were
mentioned.
dead,
It might
but
have been
the fourth dimension decided on their own that you were gone.
Okay.
And I tried to correct them. It didn't matter. That was they decided.
No, I'm here. I'm alive, bitches. Bullseye says Jeffrey's alive. Yes, I think we've just covered that.
I did mention that many times while you were gone, that you were very much alive, but fell on deaf ears, I guess.
Well, I know where I can fake my death. At least this is a good place. Of course, the text line has given me the thinky wheel of death, so this does not bode well for fantasy football questions later. If it doesn't work on mine, maybe it got used to Keon's computer during the fantasy football segment. If I'm not able to read the text well, you might need to do it.
Okay.
Sir Drives a Lot says, "Hey, Radio Pal." Hey, Sir Drives a Lot. Donnie says, "Oh, great, Jeffrey's back." You're still here. Bullseye says, "Jeffrey's alive. I thought he went the way of the dodo." James Will Jones, Liam Payne. Although Jeffrey sounds like he's dead today. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who this is, but 4808 says, "Hey, what happened to the second, third, and fourth hour of Beat the Book?" I've liked the Keon and Dylan show over the last few days. Can we talk about NBA draft bust again? No.
No.
But, honestly, you can have it. I'll just leave. I don't care. That's what you want. Pinocchio says, "What? I sent flowers. I never got them."
Oh, wow.
Never
And they didn't arrive at the station either. So I don't know where they went.
Bat Flipper reminds Ralph, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Ralph would never win by an actual inch. It's more like a centimeter, millimeter. That's as much as he'd ever win.
What was
by.
the point of that? I don't understand.
I'm just talking about your penis.
No, but I'm talking about the winning part. What is he talking about?
Oh, the fact that I am ahead of you in the picks contest right now.
Okay. Tell him to go screw off.
Wilbur says, "Even I can see clearly that Jeffrey is alive, damn it." Anyway, so all right, here's what I think we should do. We should get right into this, and we should do our picks, and then we'll talk to Scott the King in the next hour. How has he been since I've been gone?
He's been entertaining.
Oh boy.
No, it's
he's fun.
He was,
Okay.
he was
Maybe I
actually
should
really
just-
fun last week, remember?
Maybe I should just hang back because he was giving me some hell the last couple times.
Oh, he doesn't like you.
His Mets were playing the last
That's
time we
right.
talked about too. So he'd be giving advice and then he'd go, "Oh,
Yeah, I
like
got
in the middle of talking."
I got a pick for him today.
Let's see. Big George says, "Great to have you back, Jeffrey. Hope you had a nice trip." Okay. Thank you, George. Swazman says, "Jeffrey, did you do what Tom Brady did on your time off? Did you get surgery? We don't talk about you while you're gone, as far as you know." First off, no, I didn't get any surgery. And second, I don't care if you talk about me or not.
That's what vacation is all about.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're
even
not
kidding.
supposed to care about work.
Let's see here. All right, so let's cover some injuries real fast. Might change some of your picks. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Broncos have ruled out Pat Surtain for tonight's game. He will not play. So if that has any effect on your decision making, there you go. Derek Carr, he was doubtful. Is there any word on him? Is he going to play tonight or not?
What I heard last was that Spencer Rattler was going to get the start again.
Let me check something. Yep. Okay, good. I don't have to change anything. I kind of thought so, and now I even more so. We'll talk about our picks in a minute. Good news, Cardinals fans. Marvin Harrison Jr., the third senior, is back in practice, and they say he could play on Monday. So that's good for some fantasy football players as well as the Cardinals. Will that make me change my pick? Also, no. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, geez, not even 5 minutes into the program, and ahead and below has already come out. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. All I said was that Ralph is below me in the standings. He's just below me.
You like that?
You're below me.
You like that?
Below me.
No.
888-368-1580. All right, so on to other injuries. Drake May has popped up on the practice report. He's got a knee injury now. Will that matter? Let me check. No. It still won't matter.
I don't think it'll matter, but I mean, he's got a big arm.
I was just talking about my picks. That's all I care about. Because I'm back, baby. Aaron Jones is sitting out practice, got a hammy injury. Doesn't mean he won't play, but I don't know how bad of shape has he been in lately. I don't even know what his stats are. I'm completely detached from really reality here. So has Aaron Jones been playing badly, or is this just a practice thing?
No, I don't think he's been playing badly, but I do believe he's a little dinged up.
Okay. Let's see. Deebo Samuel, he has a wrist injury, so he was limited in practice. But Ricky Pearsall, human target practice, he's back as a full participant. So,
yeah, I mean,
the 49ers version of 50 Cent is in the house.
Just crazy that you could get shot before an NFL season and still play in that same season. Wow.
Yeah, that's man card accreditation.
That's a tough dude. Yeah.
Let's see here. Jim Harbaugh, not a player, but what the hell was up with him having a heart attack on the sideline? Something happened. I heard that he was like, no, I'm fine. And he went in and got on a cortisone shot to his temple. I don't know what happens with him.
I don't know exactly what they did, but yeah, he had a heart arrhythmia. So just an irregular heartbeat. It was not beating in
atrial flutter.
Yeah. So that's pretty scary because that happens. Usually what comes next could be a heart attack. So, they caught that and they were able to handle it early, but I don't
Jim
know what that
Harbaugh
means.
spun it. He's like, the cardiologist says I have the heart of an athlete, but he left out the rest of the sentence. Before he died of old age. That's the rest of the sentence he left out.
Wow. Because you were an athlete. You're also...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really? He was a quarterback for the Colts. I don't remember him ever being an athlete.
Well,
he
did some good things at Michigan, too.
Says Keon Ralph, Randy Dillon did a valiant job holding down the fort while you were gone. Some good shows, but things were not the same without our fearless leader around. Well, Randy's the fearless leader of the fourth dimension.
Well, not the way that Randy tells the story. When you're gone, it's you.
Oh, okay. Megatron says Jones got hurt 2 weeks ago. So this is a nagging hamstring thing then. Okay. 4808 says, I didn't realize this show had another host besides Keon. So far, so good. This new guy seems to be quick with the jokes. Wow. Yeah, you have no idea how willing I am to step aside and let Keon have this show.
I genuinely do not want your job. Please keep it.
Here's the Cook says, effing autocorrected me. It dropped the me in below. What? Okay, that's good, Kiss the Cook. Let's not belabor them. It kind of takes away the humor if we keep revisiting. Mike Evans didn't practice. I guess he tweaked his leg. Okay. Like his knee or his ankle? I mean, he's tweaked his leg. The calf?
Yeah, usually it's a little bit more specific than that. There are parts to a leg. It's not just...
I think that's just made up crap so you could have a day off.
Your entire leg. It's a hamstring issue.
All right. Devontae Adams got traded when I was out.
Yeah.
A few people did.
Yeah, I saw. Well, Devontae Adams probably the most notable of them, wouldn't you
Amari
say?
Cooper.
Oh, Amari Cooper. Well, I mean,
well, we'll
the
see. Because if you take
because right where he was with the Browns, but who knows? Maybe he finds a new life and gets back up to where he was.
he immediately, if he can play like he did when he was in
Yeah.
Dallas, he's immediately the best receiver on that roster.
I've had him in fantasy football, not the Dallas version. So I'm just like, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. But Devontae Adams will wear number 17 because Malachi Corley says, I'll be 14. I got your back, man. I think that is Malachi Corley's way of kissing up to Aaron Rodgers to try to get the ball more by being a nice guy to Devontae Adams, who Aaron Rodgers is very much in love with.
If your name isn't Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, or Alan Lazard, you may never see the football again.
Malachi has hope in his heart.
It's not happening on the field there, Malachi.
You got to give him credit for trying.
Yeah, you got to.
This is new. Did I put this person in the system? I don't think I put this person in the system. Maybe I did put this person in the system. Latina Leprechaun?
Oh no, that was Randy put her in the system, and that is because she is half Hispanic, half Irish.
That's awesome. But I just she texted back in the past when I was here. I think Randy just was adamant that like there will be no more text read from this number until there's a texter nickname. No, that's fair. But Latina Leprechaun says Jim Harbaugh has the heart of an athlete. Cam Rising's heart.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you get jokes like that when I was gone?
Not really. No, actually. I mean, people were funny, but like
they're circling the water here.
Yeah.
The Sharks are back. Hamilton Porter says Bronny James with 4 points in 44 minutes of preseason play. I see that Hall of Fame career is off to a great start. We're not talking about that right now, Hamilton Porter. We're trying to talk football. We're not going to talk about a Nepo baby when we've got football to talk about. It's week 7. Come on. All right, let's see here. Tom Brady now owns a piece of the Raiders. Did you guys talk about that? Its approval has been finalized. He's now part owner of the Raiders.
Yeah, it did come up there. Yeah.
And in no way whatsoever will this affect the way he calls the game for Fox.
Actually,
he will be as boring as he was the week before and as boring as he will be the week after. He'll have no impact.
There are actually games that I think that if the Raiders are involved, he can't call because of what the NFL and the broadcast partners have with, if you're a part owner, the criticizing other teams.
Oh, he can call
players.
it. He just can't be involved in the meetings. He can't be in the production meeting.
Okay. Gotcha.
So he just has to sit there and be like, okay. Donnie says the Vikings are still undefeated since you left. I still haven't cared since I left. And guess what? I'm back and I don't care. Ralph, do you care?
No, not at all.
Keon, do you care?
I care a little.
I care so little.
I care nothing about what Donnie likes.
And I think the only reason Keon cares, let me guess, you got some players in fantasy football?
I got Justin Jefferson.
So there you go. Of course you care a little. Shut up.
But
Donnie.
also I like that defense. It's fun to watch.
Donnie hasn't heard this enough, probably in my absence. Shut up, Donnie.
No, I personally have not been bullying Donnie while you were gone.
Well, I'm bullying. Standing up to the troll.
Well, that's the thing. Is like Donnie wasn't trolling me, so I didn't have any reason to return fire. So we just
me.
Yeah, I think it's just you.
All right. That's fine.
Also, a little bit at Randy. He chips at Randy too.
Megatron says Brady hasn't been a part of the meetings all season, and it shows. You might have a point there.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks? By the way, Ralph, why are you wearing that ugly ass hat and not some football ugly ass hat?
I'm in baseball playoff mode. I mean, Arizona doesn't understand that, but I'm in baseball mode right now since we're 2 wins away from the World Series.
This is really annoying to me. I hate the Yankees, and I don't like the Dodgers. This is going to force me to root for the Dodgers.
Who did I say would be in the World Series this year? Oh, yeah. Yankees,
your mom.
Dodgers. I said Yankees, Dodgers. I think that's where it's going.
No, I'm pretty sure it was your mom.
Well, she would be in there, but she's dead. So it'd be kind of hard.
What would she be doing in there?
She'd be a Yankee fan because she's from Brooklyn. So.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to talk to her.
Well, you really can't talk to her now.
No seances are going to happen now.
Yeah.
What would be worse, in my opinion, personally, would be a Subway Series. The Mets and Yankees in a World Series would make me.
Yeah.
I would.
Worse?
Worse?
A Subway sandwich. That's even worse.
That is even worse. The quality of those have gone down over the
Oh my
years.
gosh.
The price goes up
Not
all
a
the
lie.
time, though. It's
not a lie. Let's see here. Raven Kid says Randy's not here, so I can say this. Whose dumbass scheduled a Pee Wee football game on Monday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale at the same time as Ravens Bucks?
Pee Wee football. That's hilarious.
I just don't understand why we're doing another doubleheader. Not even a doubleheader. Simultaneous Monday Night Football games.
I don't know. It just seems like it cannibalizes your own ratings. I don't know who this is for, because there are people who like the double headers when the games are separated. I'm still personally not a fan. I like my Monday nights to just have the one game. But if you do, at least do them separately so I can watch a game and then another game.
Can I just tell you what else is really sucky about next Monday? It's Monday Night Football. The Cardinals are playing, which means we can't play any games, which means we got a 3-hour show on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I picked the wrong weeks to be gone on vacation.
When does that ever happen? Because they never play Monday night.
I have no idea. Well, they wouldn't if it were just one game available. So anyway, let's see. CK says, good afternoon, fellas. Keandre Ayton, beer me. Calls you Keandre Ayton now, does he?
Well, because he used to, and then he stopped for a while. And I guess we were talking about NBA draft busts yesterday, and he dusted that one off.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
He says, welcome back, Jeffrey, and suck it, Ralph. Okay. No, that's fair. Navy Brad says, Sir Skull. Okay. Beer George. Big George says, Jeffrey, any true Arizona sports fan will not cheer for an LA sports team. You cannot cheer for the Dodgers. Well, I'm not cheering for anybody.
You have to pick one.
My point is, I don't got to pick anything.
You have to pick one.
I just won't watch.
No, you have to.
Click doesn't exist on this show.
Nope.
It'll never be mentioned.
Can't talk about the Great World Series, really.
World Series of golf? What? Of baseball?
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't got to do anything I don't want to do.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's true. I
You're
don't have to
married.
do-
It's not true.
Well, yeah, there's something. But talking about your dumb team playing is not one of them. Bat Flipper says, damn, Keon, remind me never to work with you. You tell the boss everything. Well, no, I appreciate that.
Wait, what did I just tell? I don't remember. I have
don't know.
goldfish memory. I don't remember what I just said.
Latina Leprechaun says, why was the Subway employee always so calm and composed? Because they knew how to sandwich their worries away. All right, that's a 5-minute penalty.
Oh
You're
my
not allowed to talk
God.
again. And I mean, after the break, 5 minutes. So sorry, Latina Leprechaun. I got to be fair. You just, no.
That's a flag on that play.
so
oh my
bad.
God.
I'd say a blocker.
Who?
So
That's
bad.
not block worthy,
Can't
but
keep blocking people. By the way, you hear what happens on Twitter? All the people I blocked are going to get to see it again.
yeah.
I got a notification today when I logged on Twitter for the first time in a couple of weeks. And it says, "Hey, by the way, you know how you were blocked people? Yeah. Well, guess what? Here in soon, the people you blocked will be able to read your tweets again. They just won't be able to engage. Bye, Twitter.
Well, that's good though. You could just piss them off and they can't say anything about it.
I mean, that's fine. You block somebody, you want it to stay blocked.
Yeah, you want
There's a
them
reason
to
you
not
block
exist, 'cause,
somebody.
like they can still reply to you in different ways. They can take a screenshot of what you said, and
Donnie just orgasmed.
yeah,
First time.
He has been blocked by so many people. Now suddenly he gets to creep on them again. I'm so done with Twitter.
yeah, it's a nonsense website right now.
Fish Tank says, I like the doubleheader when the Dolphins played because less people watch the terrible team.
That's the thing, is if your team is bad and you're tucked away on the paywall game, the ESPN Plus game, yeah, no one's seeing your misery right now.
Well, guess what? Now we're behind. We got a lot of picks to do when we come back, so we'll have to try to chug along. I'll tell you what, I haven't been here long enough to give any kind of deep analysis, so I'm just going to tell you who I picked and then let Ralph and Keon get deep about it. But don't be deep too long. I know there's a sex joke there, but I just can't. I don't
say this is going nowhere.
I got to use the coughing towel. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Primetime action from New Orleans this week as the Saints host the Denver Broncos. Coming off his NFL debut, Saints rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler will look to lead the 2-4 Saints back to the win column. While the 3-3 Broncos are also looking for a bounce-back win. Kevin Kugler and Ryan Harris have the call on Thursday Night Football.
right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
You may know me as Ruben Gallego, but I've had a lot of titles over the years. First, son, or mijo, by my single immigrant mom who worked so hard to make ends meet, and brother by my 3 incredible sisters. I've been called janitor, line cook, construction worker, doing any job I could to help out since we didn't have much. I earned the title graduate from Harvard University. I was called infantryman in the Marines when my company took some of the heaviest losses in Iraq. I'm called congressman, proudly representing Arizona the past 10 years. But my favorite title of all is dad to my 2 beautiful kids whose future I'm fighting for every day. That's why today, my title is candidate for Senate. I'm fighting to lower costs and secure our border. I'm Ruben Gallego, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message because for me, it's never been about titles. It's about standing up for hardworking Arizonans like you.
Paid for by Gallego for Arizona. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And listen up, everybody. BetUS still going large for you this season. 125% sign-up bonus with your first 3 deposits. That's right, 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value that other sports books don't. I've deleted my other sports books. All I need is BetUS. And boy, they got all kinds of stuff the other guys don't have. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, casino bonuses. Get started today at betus.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS is where the game begins. And I can't even begin to keep up with this text line. So we got to get to our picks. So I'll try to sprinkle them in as we go. And remember, get your fantasy football questions ready for the King of Fantasy Football coming up at 4 p.m. So let's get this thing started, shall we? Thursday night football on 1580 The Fanatic. It is the Sean Payton Bowl. Denver Broncos playing New Orleans Saints. Both teams, I mean, stink. So is that really the Sean Payton stamp? I don't know. Did Denver get better when I was gone? Or really. Did the Saints get worse? I don't know.
Not particularly. The Saints did get worse because they started off red hot, and then every week they've scored a little less and a little less and a little less. And now they're just completely injured. There's going to be no Chris Olave tonight. No Raheem.
I know. I got him in fantasy.
They're missing their right guard. They're missing their left guard. This is just a bad day for the Saints.
All right. Well, I'm picking the Broncos anyway.
I didn't even need to know that Derek Carr was questionable. I didn't need to know anything about what was going on. I just know that Denver is probably. I mean, I don't know. Is it a problem with coaching in New Orleans?
I don't know if it's necessarily a problem with coaching. I think obviously the Carr injury hurts them a lot. They had to start Spencer Rattler last week against that Bucs defense that did not end particularly well. I mean, it started well in the first half, but in the second half, Spencer Rattler came back down to earth and reality hit. So I just think that the Saints have equal parts injury and kind of, underachieving players.
All right, Ralph. I got Broncos. Keon's got Broncos. You got Broncos?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. I got Broncos too. I think this will be a running back game. There's not going to be much going on in the air in this game. It'll be a run game. Broncos.
Yeah. Well, is Kamara okay?
Yeah, he's
playing. If it's a running back game, wouldn't you give it to the Saints?
Kamara's great. I mean, you would normally give it to the Saints, but that offensive line being dinged up for them means that running the football is going to be a little bit harder.
Also, Ralph can't take or give any credit to Kamara because it sounds too much like Kamala. And you know how he feels about
that. Kamara's on my team, so
so
I actually
he actually needs him. To
yeah,
I stand corrected.
All right, nice try, Lefty.
Now it's time for the crap bowl, and I'm so proud that it's on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know whoever scheduled this, but they need an atomic wedgie. It's the London game. New England Patriots are taking on the Jacksonville Who Gives a Craps, and both teams are 1-5. Both teams just stink to high heaven. Where do you even go with this, Ralph?
Yeah, I like Drake May. He actually didn't look half bad last week.
Isn't he injured? Isn't he out?
Yeah, no, he's not out, but he is questionable right now.
Right, he'll probably play. Mm-hmm. The only reason I'm going to take Jacksonville is because this is their second week there. So they're already accustomed to it. They've been out there. They didn't play great last week, but I just feel like they'll play a little better this week. And, I think New England will have the difficulty of traveling and all that, whereas Jacksonville doesn't. So the only reason I'm taking Jacksonville because they've been out there.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Drake May, and I don't believe in the Patriots, and I don't believe in Jacksonville very much. But, yeah, you're right. It'll end up being the home field advantage. Keon?
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots, and it's not because I believe in Drake May so much, even though I do think he's got a big arm and he's got a willingness to throw the football down the field. And he's a solid human being. This is a hard guy to bring down. So he's making up for that bad offensive line, actually. But this Jaguars secondary just sucks.
Yeah.
And if he's going to throw the ball like that, like he did last week, Drake May, then I'll take him and the Patriots against the Jaguars team. I just don't trust in any way at all.
Fair enough. Next game that is on 1580 The Fanatic is at 10 a.m., and that is the Houston Texans taking on the Green Bay Packers. All right, Keon, I'll let you rack this one up.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best games of the entire weekend, and like we're seeing, Jordan Love kind of get back into the form that he was in before he got injured. And I do think that CJ Stroud and the Texans offense, I think, is going to rise to this occasion as well. Like both of these teams have secondaries that you can test a little bit. I mean, it's not completely wide open back there, but you can test them a little bit. So I think that this is going to be a big passing game. And to that point, I think I'm going to go with the Texans just because I like their pass rush a little bit better, their ability to get to Jordan Love, get some pressure on him, and force him to kind of get rid of the football quicker and make decisions faster.
Ralph, before you talk about your pick, I want to show you the coughing towel is a good alternative. I see that it's just you could use a hand rag or a hand towel, roll it up, and then that way.
I still heard you.
Well, I know, but I did it right near the mic. The other part, my mom was she was very upset with all of England when she found out that they don't use wash rags. They don't use wash rags.
They don't.
What do they?
What is they use a little corner of a towel. My mom was out of her mind. She was ready to just tell anybody who would listen. But anyways, Ralph, you should get one of these. And what's your pick?
Thank you.
Green Bay and Houston.
I'm definitely not going to get one. Okay, so this is a tough one for me, but the reason I'm going to go with the Texans is only because Jordan Love, to me, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league when he gets pressure on him and he has to go outside of a clean pocket. And I think Houston, they're 10th in pressure in the NFL this year, but I think they're going to put a lot of pressure and disrupt his rhythm. And that's what I think will be the difference in this game. I think Houston wins this in a close game. Houston.
This one was a close one for me. I've gone back and forth on it, but I feel like Green Bay is actually on a roll. I know it was just the Cardinals, but I feel like that will carry on into this week. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Green Bay on this one. I think you both are. I think you're high on something.
No, we are, but it has nothing to do with it.
Why doesn't anyone share? That's the whole reason we do drug testing and radio, to see who else can get the stuff. Let's see, where were we? Hold on here. I'm out of practice. You mark this. And next game up on 1580, the Fanatic. Oh boy, it's the Raiders. It's the Rams versus the Raiders. This is happening at SoFi Stadium. Holy crap, the Rams have only won one game this season. But then again, the Raiders, well, you know their troubles. I'm going to take the Rams getting their second W on this one personally. Keon?
Yeah, I feel terrible about even anyone having to watch this game, but
I'm so glad all this garbage football is on our station. All the games that could have been scheduled. These probably seemed like good ideas at the time. Westwood One has got to be like, can't we? They should be just
that game on paper. That game was a good game, but then they got suckered into it, and now here we are. I'm gonna take the Raiders. I just think that the Rams are a bad team. Their secondary is horrific, and Brock Bowers has been doing terrible things to teams in their defense. I mean, he's been outside of Max Crosby, he's been the most valuable player that the Raiders have had. And when he goes up against weak secondaries, he has a field day. The tight end of the Raiders. Rookie Brock Bowers.
You know what helped him was the fact that there was a wide receiver by the name of Devontae Adams who was getting a lot of attention and coverage.
No, Adams was nursing a pretend hamstring injury for the last 3 weeks. Adams was not helping
I've
Bowers.
been out of town. Okay.
Yeah, Adams was not helping Bowers. Bowers is wide receiver 1 in Vegas, and I think that he'll be wide receiver 1 on Sunday, tearing up the Rams secondary. I'll take the Raiders.
I'm standing by my original pick. I'm still taking the Rams. Even more so if Ralph takes the Raiders.
Yeah, so the Rams are actually coming off a bye, which might help a little bit. I don't know if it will, but
has anything else helped
it might.
I
mean, Ralph loves it when something's bye.
Yeah. No, I don't. Anyway, I'll say this every week, and I'll keep saying it. The Raiders suck. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm not going to ever take the Raiders. They're terrible.
I feel bad about that because I really like the Raiders fans. I do. I mean, they're
some of them are nice.
It's
a bad team.
They made this Rams secondary made Kyler Murray look like the best quarterback in football, and Gardner Minshew loves to throw the ball deep. Like
but isn't O'Connell playing?
Or sorry, but O'Connell does too. I don't know, man. Like this just smells of last team who has the ball is going to probably win the game.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's see what happens. Do we have a better game on Sunday Night Football? Jets versus Steelers? No, we don't.
No, it's interesting.
No, not really. I'm going to go to bed early that day.
It's more interesting than the other games that we unfortunately are airing.
We could have aired Kansas City and the 49ers. We could have aired. I'm looking on the list here to see what is a better game that we have. Detroit and the Vikings would have been a better game.
Yeah.
I mean, ping pong would have been a better game than a lot of what we're airing. It's not our fault. We have no choice. But all right, let's talk about it. The Jets versus the Steelers. Steelers are at home, and when I left, everything was fine with Justin Fields. What has happened now that is Russell Wilson playing? What's going on?
He's starting.
Yeah, and nothing happened to Justin Fields. Russell Wilson's just healthy. They wanted him to be the starter. They gave him back the job.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't like that. I'll tell you right now. Me and the Fourth Dimension, we had a big argument about it a couple days ago because I think that if you've got a guy who's playing well and the team's rallied around him and they're winning football games, you stick with the hot hand. But Mike Tomlin is going to go with the veteran Russell Wilson, and we'll see how that works for him.
Oof. Okay. Well, so I guess that means who are you choosing? You taking the Jets?
I'm going to take the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but
no, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
From what I understand, that Devontae Adams hamstring injury magically cleared up, and he will be playing Sunday night. Yeah, I mean
it's a miracle.
It's a miracle. He got on that red-eye flight to New York, and then the next thing you know, he was 100% healthy.
It's the altitude. I had a hamstring injury. and I flew for like 26 hours over the course of these last couple of weeks. It's gone.
Yeah, we got to get some doctors on this. Really confirm that. So I'll take the Jets.
Jets. What do you say?
I feel like you guys are not giving the Steelers defense a consideration here. I mean, they're a big part of why I think the Steelers win this game is that defense is pretty strong, and they can get all over Aaron Rodgers, who's not moving very well right now, and he's been shaking his head every game. It seems like he's always on the bench shaking his head because his team does something stupid.
Doesn't affect you that now that he's got his boy.
I don't think that makes a difference. I really don't. I think the Jets are just they make too many mistakes, and I don't think they win this game. I think it'll be interesting to see what Russell Wilson does. For all we know, I mean, Russell's playing for his life right now, right? He's playing for the rest of his career. He may come out and be amazing. He may come out and lay an egg. I don't know. But I'm going to bet on the Steelers defense. I'm going to take the Steelers.
All right, and let's see. Well, that's it. That's all the games are going to air on 1580 The Fanatic, because we do not have Monday Night Football next week because the Cardinals are playing. And since we refuse to let people dictate what we say about football based on how much money we make from them, we won't talk about it. So anyways, let's go back to the text line real fast. Me trying to get that caught up, and then we'll finish up our picks in the next segment. Hamilton Porter says, in honor of Georgia playing Texas this weekend, does anyone remember when Bevo tried to kill Uga at the Sugar Bowl? Of course we do, but this is not what we're talking about right now, Hamilton. Not right now. Come back at me again tomorrow. CK says, Mike McCarthy would disagree with your Subway take. That 3 sandwich eating mofo is about to be fired, I think. Wow. Oh, man. Jerry Jones went off on those radio DJs in Dallas. Did you see that?
Yeah.
My God.
He effectively said, look, I can get someone else to ask me these softball questions if you're not going to ask me.
He says, I'm paying you guys. So basically, it's the same. It's like if we were talking to Bidwell and we were the Cardinal station, and he's like, well, I'm paying you guys for this. I could get someone else. He was just basically threatening their jobs and probably actually had the leverage to do it with the station. That's why it's just the worst thing in the world that you have your nuts in a rubber band by the team that pays you. I don't ever want to be that. Big George says, we have a 3-hour show on Monday. Celebrate. Shut up, George. Berg says, afternoon, guys. Not a 3-hour show. Damn. Also, Jeffrey, congratulations on your upcoming win in fantasy. You play the worst of the worst in the Premier League. I'm playing you, Berg, and that's not true. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to reverse jinx things, and I appreciate that. Kiss the Cook says, nice to know you're alive and somewhat well. I'll take down my Jeffrey O'Brien Memoriam site. I think it'd be amazing if that actually existed. If that actually exists, I want to link.
I would be impressed, actually.
Gotham Sauce says, finally, Jeffrey's back. Life is normal again. Really? Me being here is normal? All right. Raven Kid says, so because the Cardinals are playing, you guys can't broadcast the Ravens game? That is stupid as hell. That is stupid as hell. I agree. Donnie says, great. I get to see how terrible takes are now from the Berg and Fish Tank again. I think we all should just leave Donnie on Twitter by himself. Maybe we should all just, I don't know, maybe this, what was the name of that other one? That Threads, whatever it was?
Threads was the one that
we all went and looked at it. And we were
Facebook made.
Nah.
It's just dumber Twitter. I don't know. It's just
dumber Twitter.
There's less people. It's less interesting. I don't know.
Fish Tank says, don't be deep too long. Radio Pal is a little rusty, I see. Well, yeah, man, I've been gone 2 weeks. What do you want from me? Booger Wolf says, I see Canada as the left cheek, Russia as the right cheek, Minnesota as the ugly stinkwinkler in the middle.
Wow.
Go Niners, you snow hicks.
Wow.
Walter Mellon says, what's the over-under on Mr. the King being on time today? Oh, really? Is that a thing? Oh, great. Against the Spread says, good day, gentlemen. Forget about betting the pro game tonight. It's pointless to bet on garbage teams. I'm watching some ACC action. I like BC to win, plus 245 on the money line tonight against VTech. BC has an offense that can break big plays, a solid O-line, and a bend but don't break defense. VTech's secondary is leaky and gives up big plays. BC to win is the play tonight. Kickoff, 4:30 p.m. Thank you for that. Against the Spread. All right, we're running late. Got to take a break. I'm trying to get your texts in while I can. We'll try to get caught up again on the next side, but we got to finish up our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
College football coming up on Saturday. Arizona State on the road to face the Cincinnati Bearcats. The Sun Devils are 5-1, 2-1 in conference play. They're a 5-point road underdog and plus 170 on the money line. The Bearcats minus 200 with the over-under of 50.5. The Arizona Wildcats will be home in Tucson as they take on the Colorado Buffaloes. Arizona sitting at 3-3 and are a 3-point home favorite, minus 150 on the money line. Buffaloes plus 130 with the over-under at 58.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, we only got a couple more picks to do, and then I'll try to get caught up on the text line. But remember, get ready, those fantasy football questions. I'm 3-3 right now, which I was pretty happy about. It's not because my team was great. It's because other people have been having bad days against me. If you look at the 4 points and against points, I should not be 3-3. My team is hot garbage. And so, thanks to those who fail. That's all I can say. Anyway, all right, let's see. Let's go ahead and get our picks going. Let's get the picks done. Let's start with Ralph from Harmon Solar. Ralph, your team, the Seattle Seahawks, are visiting the Atlanta Falcons at their home. Mm-hmm. Your team, like me, 3-3. Mm-hmm.
Atlanta 4-2. So this should be a pretty decent little game right there.
I don't think so.
You don't think it's going to be a good game?
No, I don't. I mean, Seattle is just hurt, and they keep getting more guys on IR every week.
Well, I get it. You're getting your ass kicked for sure.
Well, no, they just
sure.
They keep getting more and more guys that are hitting their IR every week. So it's ridiculous. Every single week they put a guy on IR.
Yeah.
This is going to be ugly because they can't stop the run right now because that part of the defense doesn't exist. They're on IR.
Yeah.
So no, Atlanta wins this game. I don't see.
Well, what I said was should be a good game, but with all your injuries, you have no hope.
No, because I think Atlanta's very good running a team, and that's exactly what they're going to do in this game. And they're going to run up and down the field against Seattle's lack of defense because of the injuries. So Seattle loses this game.
I agree. Keon, do you agree?
I don't know if I agree. I do agree that Seattle's going to get run on. That is going to happen. There's no getting around that. But like Seattle has been putting up tons of yardage every single week. They just can't seem to get into the end zone. And part of it is they're playing really good defenses. This secondary in Atlanta it's just okay. I actually think that Seattle can find a spot to unleash DK and Jackson Smith and Jigba and actually finally have a good week where some of those games where they've got a lot of yardage also turns into a game where they get a lot of points. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
More than that, Atlanta will wear down the defensive line of the Seahawks and the defense, and whatever they are able to do, that secondary will not matter in the end. Moving on, how about my team? The Indianapolis Colts are hosting the Miami effed up Dolphins. That team is so just wow. You go ahead, Keon, because
I mean, I think it's pretty
I can't
clear.
even articulate how unarticulate they are.
With the Dolphins, that it's obvious how much they need Tua on that team. Tua, by the way, I think would be able to play not this week, but the next week is when he'll be first allowed to play. I don't think he should, but
no,
the Dolphins have made that unwise decision before. That being said, though, I mean, like this offense, do you have a week to maybe cook up something with Snoop Huntley at quarterback when coming off of the bye week that you're on? I don't really think so. You know, you're looking at Tyreek Hill having the worst stretch of games of his life because he finally has a quarterback that can't get him the football. It's a gigantic issue. It almost doesn't matter what the Colts do. They ought to win this football game. But Alec Pierce is having an incredible season. He leads the league in yards per reception, which is wild and perfect for Anthony Richardson coming back because that's kind of his thing.
See, do you feel the same way knowing that Anthony Richardson is coming back? I feel less
against these Dolphins.
I feel less sure.
Changes nothing.
I feel less sure with him under center, but let's see. What do you say, Ralph?
Why is he coming back?
I don't know.
There's
no reason.
Get on the bench. Here's where you belong.
Yes.
You're not ready for this. This is bigger than you right now.
Yeah, but it's like, do you think that this is a championship team? Because how?
No, I don't.
I'm right here. I can hear you.
No, I don't think it's a championship team, but I think that kid's going to get killed. He needs to go on the bench.
It's of his own doing.
I agree.
You've already started the process of you're going to throw him in the fire. You might as well complete it.
Yeah, but he's already done. He's well done. Take him out. I mean, at this point, all there is left is Char.
That said, who are you picking to
win?
win?
I mean, you have to. The stupidity of all that I just said is you have to take them.
It matters
because,
none.
Hey, good news, Fish Tank. I heard Tua might be back next week. That'd be great for you until he gets hit in the head again. But anyway, you got to take the Colts. How do you not?
Sorry for your loss, Fish Tank. It's unanimous, which is really weird for me. But we're all taking the Colts. Moving on to, let's say, Keon's game. Washington Commandos at home against the Carolina Panthers. Come on. So, Commandos. Come on. There's no discussion necessary.
I mean, there could be some stats to mention about how bad the Panthers are, but that just feels like running up the score at this point.
Yeah, we'll just, it's all in favor of Washington Commandos. Say aye. Aye. Moving on. Let's see. Randy White not here today, so you know who he'd pick. He'd pick the Arizona Cardinals. Anybody jumping on the Cardinals bandwagon with him and my wife? I mean, I don't know if my wife is picked. I'll be honest. I don't know. She was pretty upset after that last loss.
Boy.
I think the Chargers are going to run the ball right down their throat. It's going to be ugly.
I mean, I would normally say that. I mean, first off, it's the same thing as what happened before, where I agree with you on the thing that you said, which is that the Chargers will run the ball directly at the Cardinals, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to stop them. But I do think that this is actually the best team that this Chargers secondary has faced so far this year. It's all been bottom 5 teams so far, so they look great. Can they actually hold up to that test of what happens when Kyler Murray gets outside of the pocket. Also, their defense is not exactly healthy either. So I'll take the Cardinals.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Yeah.
Randy would be very pleased.
Who's
And call you
smoking what?
sexy, which makes me uncomfortable. Let's talk about a good game. And there's only 2 games that I think are actually good games beyond what we've talked about. And there weren't many there. Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Chiefs are undefeated. 49ers kind of defeated. But the 49ers are at home. Does that change anything? I know the 49ers are favored in this game. But then what does Patrick Mahomes do when he's the underdog? Usually wins. So who do you got? Ralph?
I've got the Chiefs. I don't see the Niners beating the Chiefs. I know they're favored at home. So what? They're still not all back together yet. They're just a different team without CMC. They're just not as good. I think Patrick Mahomes will have his fun against them and he'll win this game. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. They're not better than the Chiefs right now. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs too. Keon?
I'm also taking the Chiefs. The Niners defense that was like choking people out a year ago, that's not this team. The secondary is a good secondary, but last year they were a great secondary. And I just think that great is what you need to kind of take Patrick Mahomes down another level, and they don't have it.
Nope. All right, the other undefeated team is the Minnesota Vikings. So Vikings at home against the Detroit Lions. I feel like that's going to be a pretty good game. Yeah. Now, who do you got on this one, Keon?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings. I just think that what the Vikings are doing on the defensive side of the ball is the reason why. I don't think that you completely stop this Lions defense, but can you slow it down enough for your own also great offense to keep up? Yeah, I think they can. And I also think that the Lions are going to hurt a little bit. Losing Aiden Hutchinson in Dallas really is a big part of what their defense was doing. And there maybe are some adjustments that they can make to replace that production that Hutchinson had. But Hutchinson was far and away the best defensive player and in the league. And now you're trying to replace that with some scheme stuff instead of another guy.
I'm still taking the Detroit Lions over the Vikings. It's time. It's time for them to lose. And I just want Donnie to hurt. So, Ralph, who do you got?
I'm struggling because of the loss that the Lions had. I want to take the Lions because I think that this is Minnesota's prime to lose this game. This is the game they're going to lose, right? But, man, everything Keon's saying is correct. Just their defense looks so good. Sam Darnold just looks really good right now. I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence. I've got Detroit right now, but I don't be surprised if I change that to Minnesota. I'm absolutely on the fence.
Fair enough. All right, that's it for the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks. Make sure you remember to go do your picks. Let's get caught up on the text line with what little time we have. Pinocchio says, Keon, picking the Patriots, my man. Taco Kenny says, all BS aside, Raiders will lose on Sunday. They can have Jesus as their quarterback, and he'd still get sacked a bunch of times. They suck. I feel like Jesus probably could avoid a sack.
Could probably avoid the sacks, but also this is a Rams defense. Who have they sacked this year? The Rams.
Nobody.
Yeah, like the Raiders' offensive line is normally an issue, but I would say this is the one team where you're like, no, not really.
Yeah. Megatron says, why don't you guys have the other Monday night game? We're not allowed to air any football games on this station when the Cardinals play. It's an NFL rule in the market. Bat Flipper says, worst football game is better than the best game in every other league. No, I'll give you that. But, we have choices and, feet that move and then pick up the remote that works. So don't got to watch bad football. Mr. Roboto says, Jeffrey, your phrase atomic wedgie deserves a place in the Super Bowl television play-by-play, like Johnny Fever of WKRP saying booger. Okay, I guess you can nominate it. Hamilton Porter says, I predict this is the week the Vikings come back down to earth. Me too, my friend. Fifth letter says, Jeffrey, welcome back. Keon, good picks. Raiders will definitely win this weekend in LA, but then lose the rest of their games, and I'm okay with that. Ralph, what's up with your Trojans, damn it? Or your Dodgers there? Yeah, it's about that time, huh? Choke, choke, choke.
Well, the Dodgers are fine. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess you're not watching TV, or maybe you're blind like Mr. Wilbur. And as far as the Trojans, they're playing really good football, but they're playing really good teams, and they're losing close games. I mean, they got Penn State in overtime and lost, but
moral victory.
Not bad. I mean, they're not bad. It's a tough schedule.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, who's this new host? Your mom. Hefty Lefty says,
wow.
I think the Chargers have a letdown game after their division win over the Broncos. Just seems like a game they'll randomly lose. Random texter says the 49ers are favored against the Chiefs. Weren't the 49ers favored against the Arizona Cardinals too? How'd that work out for them? Listen, man, we're on your side. Chiefs are definitely it's like the Patriots of old. Until they prove otherwise, pick them to win.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth letter says agreed. We could be easily undefeated. Damn it, fight on. And Big George already has his question ready for Mr. the King of Fantasy Football. He has queued up and gotten ahead of. It's like if you're in the fifth group getting ready to board the plane, but you get sort of standing around the line when the third group is up, just so you can just swoop in and be the first person in that group. I mean, I appreciate it, but it's not. They're generally, unless you're ninth group, there's enough overhead space. You really don't have to do that. Anyway, coming up next, we've got Scott, the King of Fantasy Football, Angle. It's 1580, the Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-880-6363. That's 1-800-880-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-880-6363. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of the Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, the Pen is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow, but we got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Getting all your fantasy football questions ready for Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. He is with us. He is the senior writer for rotoballer.com, official fantasy writer for Seahawks.com, fantasy writer for Sportsline.com, and inaugural member of the Fantasy Sports Writer Association's Hall of Fame. You can find him on the Tweeters or the X's or I don't know wherever the hell he is, but it's at Scott E. the King. That's how you probably find him. That's your tag for all of your different social medias, right?
Yeah, that it is. That it is. Good evening.
How you doing, man? Listen, I just want to say I'm a Mets fan today. I'm usually a Diamondbacks fan, but I am rooting for your Mets like nobody's business.
Good, Bill. Well, me too. Like I root for them like nobody's business.
Are they going to do it? Are they going to do this? Are they going to upset the Dodgers? Are they going to pull this thing out?
I had an actual premonition that they're not going to lose another game in this series. That may sound crazy,
Is that a premonition or alcohol?
Stranger things have happened with the Mets going back to 1969. So,
well, listen, you got my support, and I don't care if it's a premonition or alcohol, like Ralph said, but
I don't drink any of that. Maybe it's whatever's in Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Whatever that weird root is they use to make that, yeah. By the way, right now, through 6 innings, the Guardians are up 2-1 over the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. I dislike the Dodgers. So I don't want the Dodgers and the Yankees to play in the World Series, or I have no reason to watch. None whatsoever.
Well, a lot of Mets fans here in New York, when the Phillies played the Yankees, they said, "Who are you going to root for?" He said, "I'll root for a team to lose every game," and they did.
That's all you can hope for, I guess, at that point. Well, I haven't got to ask you any fantasy football questions for myself lately, but somehow miraculously, I am 3-3 in the Premier League, and all I got to do is make the playoffs. So I'm feeling actually pretty good about stuff, even though the injury to Rashee Rice hasn't been too great for me. Chris Olave, he's inactive, so that's not great. So I guess I only have one question for you this week, and that's about my flex. Right now, I got Alan Lazard sitting there, but I'll throw out some other names, and you tell me if I should swap them out for that. I got Javonte Williams, Demario Douglas, Darius Slayton, Cade Otton. Should any of those be put in place of Alan Lazard?
Yeah, I don't think I could start Lazard based on the fact that they now have Devontae Adams.
Right.
Not over Demario Douglas. Drake May has injected new life into this New England offense. All of a sudden, they got a really good matchup against Jacksonville. And he was in a press conference today where he was just talking about how much he loves throwing a pop, as he calls him. So I'm going to go with Demario Douglas.
Then so will I. And that's it for me. I got no further questions. Keon, how about you? Any fantasy football questions for the Fantasy Football King?
I only have one. I got to choose between Zay Flowers and Jameson Williams.
That's a tough one. Williams has a lot of upside, but with the way Baltimore is throwing the ball right now, I have to go with Zay Flowers. I also write for Advanced Local, and you're going to see my Super Bowl odds go up on NJ.com tomorrow, which is the website for the Newark Star Ledger and like all the major papers in New Jersey.
Wow.
And I'm looking at the odds of plus 750 on BetMGM of the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Now Lamar Jackson has never played in it, but he's never had an offense like this where he has a true standout receiver and he's got Derrick Henry on the offense. This could be the difference. When you think about the fact that no team has ever three-peated as a Super Bowl champion, and that only twice before have two teams met in the Super Bowl the next year after meeting previously, everybody's saying, okay, all the odds are Chiefs or 49ers. It's very rare for the two teams to face each other. We could be looking at like a Baltimore-Minnesota Super Bowl.
That sounds crazy, but it actually isn't.
Sounds like one that no one's going to watch.
Yeah, unwatchable. All right. So
you're not going to tune in to watch Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and you guys are football fans? Come on.
No, it was just mostly a dig on Minnesota.
And then we hate Raven kids.
I got you.
We're trying to annoy like one guy.
What's going on?
We're trying to annoy one guy in specific. That's all. But outside of that, you're right. Oh, there's two. Who's the other one?
Raven Kid.
Oh, that's right. Raven Kid and Donnie. So, all right, Ralph, you have any fantasy football questions?
Yeah. So at receiver, do I go Jerry Jeudy or Rashad Bateman?
You can't use, Bateman's your other option, so I guess you'll have to use Jeudy.
That's what I thought.
Bateman's touchdown or bust. Jeudy is at least the number one receiver. What the hell is going on in Cleveland there? They refuse to trade. They refuse to bench Deshaun Watson and then trade away his best wide receiver. It's like we're going to let you embarrass yourself for another 10 games as retribution for everything that you did off the field.
I think that's what's happening there, honestly.
Yeah.
Last question on defense. Do I go Seattle or Baltimore?
I don't think you can use Seattle at all.
That's what I thought.
That's heartbreaking.
Not against Atlanta. There's probably better defenses available in the waiver wire. Like if you get Cincinnati, the Raiders have the most giveaways in the NFL, and even the Rams. The Rams are playing the Raiders. I'm sorry. Cincinnati playing Cleveland. That's a defense you can use. The Rams against the Raiders. And if none of either of them are available, use the Giants against Philly. I don't know if anybody, fantasy defenses are not just about points allowed. It's about sacks and turnovers. I don't know if anybody's realizing how well the Giants defense is playing, and they lead the league in sacks. I think as Seahawks fans, we know how well they're playing.
Yeah. So you think the Giants or over the Bengals? You take the Giants before you take the Bengals, or you take the Bengals first?
No, I take the Bengals first. I'm just saying if the others weren't available.
Okay.
I'm going to swoop in and take them right now.
Already took them.
Damn, I didn't know what I was going to give up. I just wanted to do that too.
I knew you were going to do that.
All right, Mr. the King, are you ready to face the public? Are you ready to answer some questions?
Of course.
Let's do this thing. Raven Kid, speaking of the devil, says Kareem Hunt, Javonte Williams, or Najee Harris this week in the PPR format.
Yeah, I was so shocked that Najee Harris got in the end zone last week. Kareem Hunt is the starter for the Chiefs. It's pretty much Kareem Hunt every week in that situation.
Bullseye says Sean Tucker, Devin Singletary, or Nick Chubb in a running back position.
We don't know if Singletary's playing or not. And we don't know what the workload is going to look like for him with Tyrone Tracy having played so well. This is a question that there's some questions that can't be answered on a Thursday night. And this is one of them. I know Chubb's out of the picture because we don't know what his workload is going to look like, but you're going to have to call back in. You're going to have to text back in on some for my Sunday morning spot.
Man, you are so good at plugging everything you do. I mean,
thank you.
I mean, that's it's weird to hear somebody plug anything Ralph is doing, but still.
Yeah, I'm like a likable version of Gene Simmons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Latina Leprechaun says, question for this Scott King fantasy guru, Brock Purdy or Jared Goff this week?
I go with, they both have tough matchups, but, Goff's going to play in that high scoring game against the Vikings. The Vikings defense has been looking so good, but they're actually like one of the lowest ranked against the pass. There's just no stopping that Detroit offense. When I was looking at the Super Bowl odds and I was talking about that are going to be published tomorrow on NJ.com, the Lions are plus 1,000. They look like an authentic Super Bowl winning team last week. Dallas is not that good, but if you're going to be a championship team, I mean, Ralph will remember this. When the Seahawks were the top team in the NFL, they destroyed teams they should destroy.
Yep.
And that's what the Lions did. But now without Aiden Hutchinson, that pass defense is ranked 27th. I don't know if I'd be wagering Super Bowl futures on the Lions. I might go for the Packers instead. They're plus 2,000 on BetMGM, and their defense by far leads the NFL in takeaways. I know you didn't tune in for all this betting stuff, but a lot of fantasy people bet.
But this is we are your sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic. So that's cool.
Yeah. I figured that.
Fighting Wampa says Minnesota D or Colts D.
Colts D, just the matchup is it's okay against a really limp Miami offense as long as Tyler Huntley is in there for at least another week. So I'd have to reluctantly go with Indianapolis. You can't use Minnesota against Detroit.
Fair enough. And that also hurts me deeply. Swazman says, hey, Mr. the King, I'm 3-3, still in the playoff hunt. Wide receiver, Sutton tonight or Lockett or Waddle on Sunday. I will follow your advice.
I don't like any of them, but I'll go with Sutton for the most potential targets. Thank you.
And that hurt Swazman's soul very deeply. Killer Rabbit says, fantasy, is Joe Mixon hurt?
No, he played last week. There are different shades and grades of injuries. You know, he's been limited in practice, but it's nothing that's going to keep him out.
He also says, will Cam Akers play for the Vikings?
I don't think that matters in fantasy football.
Well, it does matter to Killer Rabbit because next his question from him is, should I play Joe Mixon or Cam Akers?
Oh boy. I think my friend, he needs to pay attention to the player news. Okay, Cam Akers was traded from the Texans to the Vikings where he's a third string running back. He shouldn't even be on your fantasy roster, much less a consideration for starting.
Sorry, Killer Rabbit.
Yeah, this was a question from 2 weeks ago, I think.
It's a question that's sitting right here in front of me right now. So,
no, maybe he just hit send right now.
Maybe,
or he's got T-Mobile and it just showed up 2 weeks later.
Oh,
that
that's more likely. Trust me.
There you go.
All right, 4808 says, oh, he's more like asking a question about a commercial from. We have that Emmitt Smith Depends commercial. He says, is that really a commercial for Depends adult diapers? Is the target audience of this show the geriatric 80+ crowd? No, here's what it is they found out that Ralph is on the show and they figured it would fit.
Wow.
So that's I don't have any control over this. Let's see here. And Bite My Kebab says,
you're gonna take that.
Of course he's going to take
I
it.
have
He's
no
going to take it
choice.
and like it.
He can mute me, so I can't do anything about it.
And you'll like it.
That's it. Bite
But
My
they did,
Kebab.
They liked it.
Bite My Kebab says, hello, Scott. What do you think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I heard he's been practicing with the team for quite a while. Do you think he's ready to start in the flex position?
Wow. These are some offbeat questions.
A lot of desperation, man.
But I don't. What do I think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I don't. I don't. Kareem Hunt's the lead running back there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not rosterable in fantasy football.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not even upset that he's being mean to all these listeners because at least he's being nice.
I'm not trying to be mean. It's tough love. I really appreciate all these questions.
I'm just glad I'm not getting tough
people,
love.
I can't do what I do, but
So you need stupid people. That's good.
For Clyde's sake, people, pay attention.
This is the nicest you've been to me all season, so I'm just like I'm happy to see these other people get the abuse.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this at everyone else's
You
expense.
make me sound like a real nasty guy. I don't like that.
I got some wrath the first few weeks, man. I had to go away.
I'm telling you, it's just
they said I went on vacation. I actually had to go to a retreat. I had to go.
It's just the New Yorker thing. It's not personal.
No, I know that. Listen, I should be a New Yorker. I've got the same sensibilities, but just didn't expect to get kicked in the nuts by this fantasy football king, Scott Engel. That's all I'm saying. Berg says, better option this week, Drake May or Trevor Lawrence? Oof.
I'll go with Drake May. I like them to match up. Trevor Lawrence is just not rosterable in fantasy football right now.
Donnie says, Jaden Reed or Juju Smith-Schuster in the flex?
Smith-Schuster could be an illusion. You know, we've seen last time he was on the Chiefs, you just couldn't sustain any consistency. And Jaden Reed is to the point where he's a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. You start him every week.
Supergirl says, hello, Mr. the King.
Hello.
Who do I play in the running back position? Jordan Mason, Kareem Hunt, or Tank Bigsby?
I got to go with Mason as long as he's the lead running back for the 49ers. I'd be starting him every week until Christian McCaffrey returns.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break now. We still have a schload of fantasy football questions sitting here on the text line. It's a metric schload. It's not a imperial schload. It's very different. But we'll come back and get as many.
Darth Vader schload. I got it.
That's right. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
You may know me as Ruben Gallego, but I've had a lot of titles over the years. First, son, or mijo, by my single immigrant mom who worked so hard to make ends meet, and brother by my 3 incredible sisters. I've been called janitor, line cook, construction worker, doing any job I could to help out since we didn't have much. I earned the title graduate from Harvard University. I was called infantryman in the Marines when my company took some of the heaviest losses in Iraq. I'm called congressman, proudly representing Arizona the past 10 years. But my favorite title of all is dad, to my 2 beautiful kids, whose future I'm fighting for every day. That's why today, my title is Candidate for Senate. I'm fighting to lower costs and secure our border. I'm Ruben Gallego, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message because for me, it's never been about titles. It's about standing up for hardworking Arizonans like you.
Paid for by Gallego for Arizona.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Danny Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Top of the 7th, Guardians now 3-1 over the Yankees. Manzardo with a home run, so keep that going. All right, let's continue now. We've got Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel on the line. What's that, buddy?
I said, sorry to interrupt you, but I think you triggered me with Kyle Manzardo. I picked up in fantasy baseball during the season, did nothing for me.
and now he's hitting homers. All right. I feel your pain. Let's see about easing the other people's pains. The fourth dimension is on the text line, and the moist one, who I don't think we should answer his questions because he's a 2-time winner of the Premier League. He says, "Hi, Mr. the King. Go Hawks. Go Mets. I'm a little Dennis Leary of Jordan Mason this week. Should I start Chase Brown instead?"
No, I wouldn't do that. You know, it looks like he's limited in practice. He's going to play. I appreciate the Seahawks and the Mets backing, and I'll help anybody, if, you know, whether they're in the same league or not. You know, it's Jordan Mason, he's been limited in practices. I know Chase Brown has scored 4 touchdowns from scrimmage in his last 4 games, but he's got a split workload with Zach Moss, whereas Jordan Mason, you know, he's the guy there. And if he's good to play, I like Jordan Mason as a runner. He's got great cutback moves, great balance, really good vision. He's not Christian McCaffrey, but he's a very good running back.
Raven Kid says, with Devontae Adams coming back this week, I need to bench either George Pickens, Jameson Williams, or Javonte Williams. Also, let's go Ravens, he says.
I was going to say George Pickens going against the Jets. And I think I am. Javonte Williams not going to get you a lot of points, but maybe he'll get you 10 or 12. I just don't like George Pickens against the Jets, especially with Ralph. I hate to say it, we know Russell Wilson is not what he used to be.
No.
You know, going against the Jets behind that offensive line and not having the mobility he used to. George Pickens on rotoballer.com, where I do my player rankings every week, I don't have George Pickens in the top 30 wide receiver this week.
Mr. Pink Eye says Zay Flowers or Aaron Jones.
Jones has been limited in practice. We don't know if he's going to play yet. But regardless if he plays or not, I'm still going with Zay Flowers.
There you go. Box of Screws says Ayuk or Dell in the flex.
I'll stick with Ayuk there. You know, Dell's kind of boom or bust. I do like Dell, and they're ranked very close, but you know, that's a big game against Kansas City.
Choro says Kyler Murray or Caleb. Come on, or Caleb Williams. Sorry.
People, you got to pay attention. I appreciate you got to pay attention. Caleb Williams is on a bye. If you start him, you're not going to get any points.
Oh, God. My lighting rig just fell over out of shock at Choro's question.
I thought that was a drum, like, you know, like
a rim shot. Yeah, no, Choro, I think, was joking. God, I hope he was joking. Let's move on.
Please don't ask me if you should start Dak Prescott or Caleb Williams this week.
Thank you. Moving on before other things fall over. Seabass says, is Scott the King aware that Ralph is cheering for the Dodgers to win over his Mets?
He knows I'm a Dodger fan.
That's fine, you know, but Ralph hasn't trash talked me, so it's fine. Respect that. You know, other 12 should respect other 12. Like, right. I know this other Seahawk fan, right? And he starts texting me the Dodgers every time they score a run. And I said to him, what are you doing? I said, I didn't know idea you were a Dodger fan. He's like, well, I'm a Mariner fan, but they've been so bad the last 10 years. I started rooting for the Dodgers. I said, that means you're not a Dodger fan. You do that silly, I have a second favorite team. Not that people should
like Ralph
have a second favorite team, but when you pick a second favorite team because your first one never wins, that's a safety net. Okay.
That sounds so familiar.
I grew up in LA.
You was a Dodger fan.
I mean, I grew up in LA. I think you grew up in New York, so we respect it.
It sounds familiar. It sounds like Ralph with the Rams, even though he's supposed to be a Seahawks fan.
Ignore Jim.
Yeah. We don't have time, so let's move on. Latina Leprechaun says, point of clarification, did Scott King Fantasy Guru pick Brock Purdy or Jared Goff?
Ooh, Latina Leprechaun. Okay. I got thrown off by that name. Purdy or Goff. You know, Goff in a high-scoring game.
There you go, Latina. Baker's
Scott, follow me at Scotty the King on social media.
All right, he wants you to follow him at Scott E. the King on any of your social medias. Baker's Cocky Hen says, currently starting London, Wilson, Chase. Do I swap out for Reed, Thomas, or Kirk?
Wilson and Chase. I don't think you never bench Jamar Chase. If you're going to bench Jamar Chase, these guys are not going to let you send another text question in. And Garrett Wilson, you know, maybe with Devontae Adams and numbers, they'll get trimmed a little bit, but he's still a must start. You start those guys every week.
Niner 1680 says Kareem Hunt, Chuba Hubbard, or Aaron Jones?
Chuba Hubbard. And that's who I'm starting. He's been playing really, really well, and that should be a high-scoring game against Washington. Could be the highest-scoring game of the week. Take the over.
Fish Tank says, being a little Dennis Leary of something is going to be my new line at work all day tomorrow. Yeah, I don't blame you. That was a pretty good one. Fecal Mist says, in the flex, Tyrone Tracy or Jamison Williams?
Depends on Singletary comes back. If Singletary comes back, I don't know what Tracy's workload is going to look like. So I go with Jamison Williams. With this Dennis Leary thing, you know, it's not as effective when you pat yourself on the back for your own joke.
No. He was appreciating somebody else's. That was Moist One's line.
His own joke.
No, he was appreciating Moist One's line. So that was actually appreciation.
Okay.
Commando Duke says Tucker Kraft or Zach Ertz.
I don't think I could ever play Zach Ertz over Tucker Kraft.
Also wants to know, should you be starting Devontae Adams after only 1 week with Aaron Rodgers?
It depends on who else you have. You know, he's familiar with Rodgers. Somebody said to me today, Coworker said to me today, said, "Yeah, maybe you should start him, Scott. That's a good point. He probably knows the whole Jets playbook." I said, "It's the Packers playbook from 6 years ago."
Pickle Rick says Zamir White or Wan'Dale Robinson.
I can never start Zamir White. I'm already I've already broke up with him fantasy wise. Wan'Dale Robinson every week.
Swazman says Myers, Flex Raiders, or Lockett or Waddle, even C. Ridley.
We don't know if Myers is playing or not tomorrow. Practice reports on Friday tell us a lot. If he doesn't play, I would play Lockett. If he does play, I would start him because he's the number one receiver for the Raiders right now after that trade.
Cliff Dingleberry says Kelsey or Goddard.
Goddard's probably not playing this week. Got it.
Average Joe says Scotty the King, King of Riz. I think that means that you dress nicely. Is that what that means?
No, it means he's got a lot of charisma.
Oh, charisma. Yeah. Oh, see, I don't know the phrases. You got a lot of charisma, Mr. the King. That's what he said.
Hip to it.
What's that?
You're hip to it.
Exactly.
So hip. clearly hip. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I was humble bragging my receivers there. So, anyways, real question, Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins?
I got to go Cousins in that game. Unfortunately, Ralph knows this. The pass defense doesn't look too good for the Seahawks right now. Got to tighten it up. But Reek Woolen's probably going to be out this week, and he's the best cover corner. Devin Witherspoon's the best all-around corner, but Trey Brown's been kind of up and down, and no Reek Woolen, and now they just lost their safety and Rayshawn Jenkins. So I got to go with that's going to be a high-scoring game, I think. I'll go with Cousins. Better shot. Both guys can pass for 300-plus yards, but, Geno doesn't throw enough touchdown passes for fantasy purposes.
Niner Annapolis says, I'm not able to make a trade on this one yet. I'm having a very hard time figuring out which three to start each week. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins. And also, do I start? I also have Terry McLaurin. And should I start Joe Burrow? He's got a lot of questions here.
How many does he need of those?
It's a good point.
I mean, if I'll pick the top two, Terry McLaurin against the Panthers is a lock, and T. Higgins against the Browns. Those are the top two.
There you go, Niner Annapolis. And should he start Joe Burrow? Of course, you don't know who else he has, but
I don't know who else he has, but I think he's a pretty good start. I have him in the top 10.
There you go. 4808 says Elias Peterson, Jack Hughes, or Leon Trizati in a center position.
He must be talking about basketball, but it's not NBA. It's not anything I follow. By the way, I'm getting towards the end of a 13-round fantasy basketball slow draft right now.
Ooh.
Karl Anthony Towns in the second round.
So one real quick, because Swave Dave thought we blocked him. We did not block you, Swave Dave. He wants to know Pierce or Lazard.
Damian Pierce, you never start him.
Or did he mean Alec Pierce?
I'll go with Lazard. Better shot of a touchdown.
Kraft or Laporta?
I go Laporta. Kraft with all the receivers back in Green Bay, less effective.
Moist one still wants to try to trade me Brock Purdy for Jalen Hurts.
I don't see the sense in that. He's going to make an offer. Think about the other side. Why would you do that?
I know.
Two players in the same position, you have the better one. Why would you do that?
Thursday Night Football is next. 1580, The Fanatic.
You better, you bet.